Hey there, are you one of those players that has very wobbly aim and just can't seem to shoot an opponent when you see them accurately? Well, with my settings, you'll be able to be a lot more consistent and go get those kills and climb up those leaderboards in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. My name is Hero and I'm one of the most consistent players on Modern Warfare 2. I've gotten so many kill feeds, over 900 MGBs and all of the secret MGB calling cards, and I've even gotten a nuke with every single gun in the game, including the guns that just dropped with the Season 4 update. And in addition, I upload consistent Modern Warfare 2 rank play loadouts that everybody uses and can get to iridescent and top 250 in both Modern Warfare 2 rank play and Warzone 2 rank play whenever I upload Warzone 2 ranked videos. So the point of all of this is to tell you guys that I've got all the new settings that you gotta rock here in Modern Warfare 2 Season 4 so you can continue to climb up the leaderboards and perform at the best of your ability here in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. You'll be able to aim extremely well for both short range engagements and especially long range engagements. Let's go ahead and get your aim up. So what's up guys, it's Hero here by Nino Orkwaji and welcome to my updated Season 4 settings for Modern Warfare 2. I always get questions every season what my updated settings are, and even though I don't change so much, I just thought I'd make a video on them, reviewing my settings, telling you guys why I do certain things that I do with my settings, and helping you guys improve your aim, accuracy, and controller settings all throughout. So if you guys are excited to see all of this, and continue to be a better player here in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer with these settings, make sure you guys drop a like in the video, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. These settings I've been using since years ago, because settings usually don't change within these recent Call of Duties, and they've always helped me become a better player, allowing me to drop consistent MGB nukes. And before we get into things a little bit more further, I just want to say shout out to the Noti Gang from the comment section below my videos for always showing so much love and support. You guys keep me pushing further to be making more videos. And can we drop a like goal of 2,000 likes if you guys want to see updated class setup videos of my top 5 ranked loadouts or top 5 Warzone ranked loadouts, or just class setup videos in general. You guys' support is always greatly appreciated, and without further ado, let's get to these settings because I already know this is going to be a long freaking video. Also comment your KD in the comment section below, just so that when you use these settings, you can see how much you improve from the KD that you commented in the comment section below. I won't hate, maybe I'll find that kind of funny, but hey, we all started from somewhere. So starting things off, I am a controller player, so obviously I'm going to be going over controller settings. I'm not a keyboard and mouse player. You guys can watch somebody else for that. But when it comes to the button layout, I run on bumper jumper tactical flipped. And in order to flip it, you just, turn this switch on in case you're curious. And the reason why I play like this, I'm able to, aim down sights with L1, jump with L2, shoot with R1, and grenade or whatever with R2. And the reason why I play like this is because it's a lot easier to sort of jump shot with this controller configuration. And it's a lot easier to drop shot. I drop shot by pressing the right control stick. So by being able to jump shot and drop shot very effectively and using all the maneuvers and all the movements that I can, I'm able to be a lot more unpredictable towards my opponents, and I don't have to buy an expensive $200 or $300 controller to try and do all those configurations when I can just edit my button layout using these configurations here on the Modern Warfare 2 settings. So I definitely recommend this. I've been playing this way since Black Ops 3 back in 2015, 2016, so it's been 7 years since I've been playing like this. And I've been outplaying my opponents, making them cry, and dropping all sorts of nukes, and I definitely recommend it highly. Moving onward, no bumper ping, stick layout preset default, controller vibration, I just have it off because, it's just placebo, whether you want it on or off, just use whatever you want here, it's personal preference. Horizontal stick sensitivity and vertical stick sensitivity is going to be both 8 and 8. I like 8 because it's not too fast and not too slow. Some of you guys will prefer a lower sensitivity because that will allow you to aim a lot better. However, by aiming a little bit better and a lot more slowly, you won't be able to turn on opponents if they end up shooting behind you, and thus you won't be able to do a 180 and turn on them. And then similarly, some of you guys might like a 20/20 sort of sensitivity because you're able to move around and be a lot more snappy with your aim. However, you're not going to be on target, because you're moving so quickly. You need to have like a very strong sense of control. And with that 20 sensitivity, it's sometimes hard to maintain that control, especially at longer ranges where your sensitivity is really going to show. So I just like it in the middle. If you want to practice, you can go up in increments of 1. So like if I wanted a lower sensitivity, I could just go to 6.6, play on that for a little bit, and then go to 4.4 and get used to that. And in the opposite direction, I can go to like 12.12 if I wanted to work towards a higher sensitivity, and then go to like 13.13, and like just keep practicing and see what you're comfortable at. That's what I'd say is the best thing for you. But I like 8.8 because it's right in the middle. I can turn on people effectively, and I'll have a fast sensitivity, or a slow enough sensitivity so that I can aim effectively. Moving onwards, we got ADS sense multiplier, which doesn't matter because in the advanced settings I got something that overrides that. You guys will see what that is soon, but I would put that at like 0.8 or 0.9. You guys will see in a little bit though. Sensitivity multiplier is all default here at 1. Vertical aim axis is all on standard. Aim down sight behavior hold. Change zoom shared input is default or whatever the case is. Automatic sprint should be off. If you have it on, you're gonna be screwing yourself over because you're not exactly in full control of your player in that sense. You're allowing yourself to sprint automatically, and sometimes you want to be walking a little bit slower so that you can put up your guns faster, because if you run into a camper, you're gonna get clapped. So I just recommend having it off. It'll help you play better, especially with a game like this. Equipment behavior hold, weapon mount activation, all of that is default. Interact/reload behavior. This is very important. When you're playing multiplayer, make sure you have tap to reload. It's the standard setting. But when you're playing Warzone, for all my Warzone players out there, do prioritize interact. This will allow you to loot a lot faster, open doors more quicker, and just allow you to do actions a lot more quickly. I definitely recommend this when playing Warzone, but otherwise when you're playing multiplayer, just do tap to reload. You'll be avoiding to do a lot of BS, but prioritizing interact is going to help you a ton in Warzone 2. Armor plate behavior should be apply all, specifically for my Warzone 2 players. And when it comes to the advanced controller settings, target aim assist is going to be on, so you can have that sticky aim and be a lot more point on your targets and have a better KD that way. Aim assist type, I just have it on default. Precision and focusing make you lose aim assist in certain instances, so this is just not good. You need that aim assist, man. Us controller players can be very overpowered with that aim assist to make all the keyboarders mad. And then some people like Black Ops. Sometimes I switch between default and Black Ops. There's like hardly any difference. You retain aim assist in all sorts of situations. It doesn't seem like to be a difference when you change the aim assist type between default and Black Ops. So just use what you're comfortable with or just feels better, and you'll be snapping on fools. Just don't use precision or focusing. They're just not that good. Third person ADS correction type is assist. Aim response curve type is going to be dynamic. All the pro players pretty much play on dynamic. All the they've been playing like this since Modern Warfare 2019. Gives you a really nice sticky aim, and I've been playing like this in Modern Warfare 2019 as well, and my aim has usually been on point, so I recommend this highly. ADS sense multiplier is going to be 1. Transition timing instant. Custom sensitivity per zoom should be on, and this is going to allow you to change your ADS sensitivity per zoom. So on low zoom optics, I got it on 0.9, and then on anything from 4x to high zoom, I have it at 1.20. With the low zoom optics, I want to kind of slow down my aim because I'm already kind of snappy, and opponents are going to be moving a lot more quickly in that sense, so having it at 0.9 makes sense. And then with the higher zoom optics, I'm trying to aim at somebody far away, but sometimes I just feel like I'm aiming a little too slow and trying to track them. So I want the sensitivity to be a little bit faster so I can track my opponents a little bit more quickly. And then input dead zone should be 0.1, 0.1, 1.0, 1.0, 0.13, 0.13. If you want to be a lot more snappy, you could put the triggers down to 0. I just don't like doing that because I do play on Bumper Jumper Tactical Flipped, so like sometimes I'll accidentally hit a grenade or something like that. So I just leave the dead zones there by default. But if you want really snappy stuff, then you can just leave everything on 0, at least the minimums and the triggers at 0, and you'll be very snappy. It's scary snappy. Controller orientation should be up. Gyro aiming is just for experimentation. I don't really mess with that, so if you want to mess with it, you can, but in today's video I'm not really going to be discussing that personally. Sprint/tactical sprint behavior, just toggle auto move forward. It's the same as automatic sprint. You should not have it on. It's going to screw you over. Just be in full control of your own controller, and you'll be playing a lot better. Double tap tactical sprint behavior, ground and man tool. I think this is all default by the end of this, I believe. But yeah, everything else is default, and now let's move on to our PC graphics settings. And just so you guys know, I will be covering console graphics settings as well, but let's start with PC settings. So in case you guys don't know, I do run a 3080 Ti and like some other specs. I'll have these specs on screen It's a very nice computer. I only run on one PC though. I could run a dual PC setup if I wanted to, but I don't want to go through the hassle of going through all that. I don't care for the extra frames. My frames are good enough, and that's because of my settings. Dynamic resolution is going to be off. Aspect ratio automatic. VSync should be off. Custom frame limit are 150, 60, and 30. And then the rest of this doesn't matter. Now let's go over the quality where things do matter. Render resolution, you should have it around 100, just so you can have a nice, picture frame, because you can see things a lot more clearly. But if you feel like you are losing some frames, or you don't feel like you have enough frames and you want to increase your frames a little bit more, you could lower this to 90 or even 80, but enemies are going to be a lot harder to see at farther ranges. So it's up to you how you want to put things. I just keep it at 100 because my PC can handle it. Upscaling / sharpening, I like doing a Fidelity FX cast, and I have it at 90. You can max it out to 100, but I feel like at 90 it doesn't like override my computer too much, and I'm able to see things smoothly and everything looks great in my opinion. So there's no need to overdo it in my eyes. When it comes to anti-aliasing, I just have SMAAT2X. Anti-aliasing quality low. Video memory scale can be 90 or 80 depending on how your PC is kind of handling things. If you feel like you want to increase your frames a little bit more, or you think 80 is better, then experiment with that. I just think 90 is better for my rig. When it comes to texture resolution, very low. I do this because I play multiplayer. If you're playing Warzone, maybe low might be the way for you, just because you want to see things a little bit better in farther distances than Warzone. But in multiplayer, a lot more engagements are in close quarters combat, and you still be able to see your opponents even on a very low resolution. So this will help you maximize your frames and also see the game a little bit better in multiplayer. Plus, I'm playing on 1440p, so I really don't need the extra texture resolution personally. Texture filter, anisotropic, normal. Level of detail low, cluttered draw distance short, particle quality and particle quality level are high just because I want to see my traces a little bit better. Bullet impacts, persistent damage layers on, shader quality low, tessellation off, on-demand texture streaming off, streaming quality normal, volumetric quality low, physics quality low, wave wetness for the water quality, or you can leave it on default. Shadow map resolution is going to be very low, off on screen space shadows, spot shadow quality low, spot cache low. Particle lighting normal, just because, for tracers potentially. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflections off. Static reflection quality low. Weather grid volume is off. Reflex low latency here is on. Depending on your rig, sometimes you might prefer on plus boost, or even sometimes off. For my rig, I feel like I play better on. So yeah, you can just mess with this. Turn it on plus boost. Play some games and compare the results, in your head or just from your own estimates, and you should be able to see what's better. But usually I think on is the best for most rigs, I think. Depth of field is going to be off because as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see because my screen is blocking the example, but when you have depth of field on, it makes the background kind of blurry, and you don't want to see that blurriness. You want to see the background a lot more clearly, specifically for opponents who might be in the background. And then the same thing can be said about world motion blur and weapon motion blur. They should both be off, because if world motion blur is on and you're moving around, then the world is going to look blurry. And especially if you're like looking around at like a house building or something, you're looking at a window, if you're moving quickly enough, then you won't see the enemy that's potentially moving over there as well, which is just BS. So you want to be able to perform at the highest level and see everything. Just having blur off in general is the best way to play. For film grain, you want to have that at 0, just because it's going to make your game look a lot more cleaner, which is what you need. And then when it comes to view or field of view here, you're going to want to have this at 120. At least for me, I like 120. Some people like 100, some people like 110, 105, 115. I go all the way. We have FOV, and I'm going to take full advantage. And the reason being is that I can see a lot more of my environment and my peripheral vision and all that. So being able to see more opponents is always going to be a key factor for me. When it comes to ADS field of view, a lot of people say affected. I like to say independent. Now, the difference between these two is that when you ADS with affected on, your field of view is going to stay the same even when you're ADS. So if you have 120 FOV out of ADS and then you go into ADS, it's still going to stay at 120 FOV. When you have independent on, when you're not ADSing, obviously you're still going to have 120 FOV, but when you have independent on, you're going to go to 80 FOV when you aim down sights. And the reason why I see that as a benefit, as having a lower FOV when you're aiming down sights, is because you're trying to focus on the target in front of you. Otherwise, why are you aiming down sights, You're trying to see what's in front of you, you're trying to, kill the person in front of you, and because you have a lower FOV, you're going to be able to, your opponent's going to appear a lot more bigger, basically. everything's gonna look a lot more closer to you, and thus you'll be able to have more precise shots while shooting your target, which is why I like independent. It makes longer range kills easier to get, and I can deal with, you know, being out of FOV for these short range kills. So it makes sense to me. You know, run independent if you want, or run infected if you want. But I'd say independence is a little bit better, man. Sorry if my controller is being stupid. I need to get a new charger cable or a new controller. It's being really dumb. Been dumb for like a couple months, honestly. Weapon field of view is going to be wide because it makes the weapon look smaller, so you'll be able to see a lot more of your background and everything. Third person field of view is going to be 90 for the same reasons as first person FOV. Vehicle field of view is going to be wide for the same reasons of weapon field of view. First person camera movement and third person should both be at least, because you don't want to have it at 100 or less or whatever, because that's going to give you a lot more shakiness and more recoil when you're shooting or when you're getting shot at or whatever. And you want the least amount of like movement or whatever to kind of throw you off. You don't want movement is what I'm saying. Recoil movement is what I'm saying. And yeah, that should be everything in terms of PC graphics settings. And now we're going to be going over to the console and showing you guys my console graphics settings. And yeah, so now here we are on my PS5. As you guys can see, I got my PS5 controller here with the Hero logo on there. And now you guys will be able to see the best console graphics settings, so you guys can apply it on your consoles wherever applicable. So first off, we got on-demand tracks for streaming are off. World of motion blur and weapon motion blur are off. I've already explained this in the PC section. Film grading is 0. I already explained that. Depth of field is off because you don't want, blurry black backgrounds. I kind of already explained that. Fidelity FX cast, you want this on, and you want the strength to be at 52. You don't want to overdo it because you still want your PS5 to be performing at the best level. And then when it comes to the 120 Hz refresh rate, you can only put this on PS5 and on Xbox Series X/S. And if you have the necessary components like a 144 Hz monitor or 120 Hz monitor, and you got the HDMI 2.0 connected to it, then you'll be able to turn this on. And I recommend this highly because it'll make you able to compete with PC players who also have like higher frame outputs. Obviously, some PCs have like 200 frames and up. That'll be a little bit hard to compete with. But at least for anybody that's kind of like edging above 110, 120, you'll be more competitive in that sense, instead of being stuck on 60 FPS, which is a very low number for nowadays. So you'll be a lot more competitive. FOV, you guys already know how I like to rock. 120, independent, wide. I've already talked about this in the PC section if you want more info on this. Third person field of view is going to be 90 and wide, for being able to see opponents a lot more easily. And then first person camera movement and third person camera movement, both 50%, because you don't want that much shakiness when you're looking down with this. And then rest of this should be personal preference. So yeah, now let's hop back on the PC and show you guys my audio settings. And now that I've shown you guys my console graphics settings, we're back on the PC here. I'm going to show you guys my audio settings. So when it comes to the audio mix, I just have it on PC. If you're on console, I hear home theater is just the best way to go, or even headphones-based boost. There's really not that much difference between a lot of these audio settings. I just like PC because I remember one day a viewer told me to just put it on PC and try it out, and honestly it ended up being pretty nice. So if you're on PC, you put it on PC. Otherwise though, I do recommend home theater or headphones-based boost. They seemed like the best to me if I wasn't using a PC. When it comes to the master volume here, you want to max it out. And then when it comes to all the music and audio here, gameplay music volume, you want to have this as close to 0 as possible. Sometimes I like hearing a little bit of music in the background, but having it at 0 is just so you don't get distracted and you're trying to hear footsteps or other killstreak sounds or whatever the case is. Dialogue volume isn't bad. I just have it off because sometimes, some of the characters say bad words and I get demonetized on YouTube. So I've been having it off for that reason, which really sucks because I like the voice lines of a lot of these characters. But I would recommend having this like around 30 through 50 if you're not a YouTuber like me and not trying to get demonetized or whatever, because these characters have some funny, obviously sayings, but they also have callouts that can be important. And being able to hear a character's callouts can be very nice in, kind of predicting where enemies are at or some sort of intel. Effects volume should be maxed. This is going to allow you to hear footsteps to the best of your ability, and thus you're going to be able to, locate your opponents that way. People always ask, like, Hero, are you hacking? How'd you know he was there? I just heard his footsteps, And this is going to help you, maximize your footstep volume. Voice chat volume could be whatever volume possible. Some people have annoying mics, so have it at 64 just in case for people with annoying mics. But if people sound too low to you, then increase it, obviously. And then the rest of these don't matter. It's personal preference at that point. And then speakers / headphones game device. I think the rest of this doesn't matter if I'm not mistaken. Subtitles. Since I'm a YouTuber, I have them all off, but if I was not a content creator, I'd have it on just because reading callouts, because they obviously put callouts in the subtitles. Reading callouts, I feel like it's better than hearing the callouts because you're able to react faster because it appears on your screen quicker. So it's up to you whether you want to have it on or off. I'd recommend having it on. It's just I'm a YouTuber and it looks kind of ugly with all the text. So I just have it off personally. And then reduce tinnitus sound. You could mess with that, have it on or off depending on how annoying the sound is. I think that should be it here. And obviously hit marker sound effects. Want to play classic MW2 or modernized MW2 sound effects is up to you. I don't know why they made us buy a throwback audio pack when they could have just put it as a setting. But last but not least, we got interface. With interface, we got once again subtitles, which we already talked about. And then we got mini-map shape. And for this, you definitely want to have it on square. If you have it on round, you're playing this game wrong. Having it on square is going to give you more surface area, so you can see the mini-map a lot better. And you'll be able to see more of the, more of the enemies on the mini-map, which is very important. Mathematically, you're going to have more surface area with a square. Mini-map rotation is going to be on. Horizontal comp is on, so that when people shoot and you don't have a UAV up, you can just be reading the compass and protecting where opponents are at. Crosshairs should be static. Static gives you a little bit more better visual quality in terms of like when you're moving your gun around and having a little bit better accuracy, in my opinion. Hit marker visuals on, hit markers on, player names, you should have the full name. I don't know why you would do anything else. Text chat could be funny. You can turn that off as well if you want. But center dot, this is very important. Having it on and then making it the largest will allow you to have a little dot in the middle of your screen. And this is just a nice little placebo effect, a nice little visual effect of being able to be a little bit more on point and keeping your aim on point. I don't know if it exactly like helps to the best of its ability, but I feel like it helps. And ever since I've turned it on, I have been playing a little bit better. So I do recommend this. And the rest of this is kind of personal preference. Telemetry, I'd recommend have these three off or these three on for, knowing how much frames you're getting. Server latency to see how much lag there is, and then packet loss to see how much lag there is. The rest of this is kind of irrelevant in my opinion, and unless you're using the clock to tell the time or whatever. And then I think that should be it. Inverted flash in case you want to have the white flash or the black flash. Depending on what you want to deal with. Do you want to be blind one day and go to the doctor for that way, or do you want to have the black flash and be afraid every time you get flashed in your PC, you think your PC is turning off? I don't know. It's up to you at that point. It's all personal preference. But yeah, those are all the best settings here for season 4. Hopefully these settings help you guys. I really don't change my settings much, so hopefully you guys don't think of this as clickbaiting. People always ask for my settings every single season, so I'd rather have just an updated video every season about it and every mid-season about it. But just know that I really hardly change my stuff because my settings are the best settings out there, and if I learn about something new, then I'll let you guys know within the video. But yeah, use these settings, see if they help you. Let me know in the comments what your KD is currently, and hopefully by the end of the season you'll have increased your KD. And just keep being big ballers. Thank you guys for supporting me every single day, and just I'll see you guys on the next one with some loadouts, some updates on the weaponry that got changed, and much more. I love you all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see these gameplays live, then make sure you guys follow me on my Kick stream at kick.com/themarkofahero. I interact with the chat, and we have a good old time roasting ragers and nuking fools. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/themarkofahero, and you'll see a lot of the same action on there. Also, if you guys want to see even more videos from me, check me out on my second channel, More Hero. On that channel, you guys will see Warzone 2 gameplay, store bundles, and other miscellaneous videos that aren't here on the main channel. Also subscribe to my third channel, Hero No Commentary, where you can see raw Call of Duty gameplay from me with no face cam, no commentary, or anything like that. Just some chill COD ASMR. I'm also a partner of G Fuel, a gaming and energy drink performance company. If you're ever low on energy before a gaming session, before an exam, early in the morning, or you need to work out or whatever the case is, you can go ahead and take some G Fuel. You might see it in the background of my videos from time to time, and I definitely recommend them. If you're interested, you can go over to gfuel.com and use my code BALLER for a 20 to 30% discount, and be a true baller and save that money, while also enjoying an amazing drink. My favorites include Party Punch, Hype Sauce, and Peach Rings, but you guys can choose what you want. Thank you guys for making this partnership possible. I really love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being a beautiful audience, and without further ado, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay awesome, and keep being big ballers. I love you all. Shout out to the channel members as well, you're incredible.